Hi, I'm Di. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to make something some may say could be a little controversial, but here in Australia it's just commonplace. So we do cook with kangaroo of all sorts. So we might have mince, steaks, we might even have sausages. They're called kangabangas. And today I'm making a kangaroo pie. So it's a kangaroo cottage pie. And it's just made like a cottage pie, except I'm using kangaroo mince. So let's have a look at the other ingredients that I'm going to be using. So there's my kangaroo mince that I'm using, and we've got some garlic. I've chopped that finely, some tomato paste, butter, some cream, diced onions, there's olive oil and Worcestershire sauce at the back, diced carrots, diced celery, and here I've got a pot of potatoes. There's 1.2 kilos of potatoes peeled and chopped, ready to be boiled. So let's get into it. So we just have our pan there and we're adding about just under a tablespoon of olive oil. Putting the heat on, and then we're just adding our garlic. And our onions. And we just want to cook them until they just become a little soft. We don't need to brown them. Move that to the other hot plate. And at the back here, I've just got my potatoes on, and they'll be boiling shortly. And we'll just boil them until they're soft. Now, kangaroo is a very lean mince. It's 98% fat-free, so I'm just going to add a little bit more olive oil to that pan there, about a half a tablespoon. So we're just breaking up the mince as it cooks, just so that we don't get any lumps in there. We just want to cook that until the mince is all cooked and brown and there's no red or pink in there. So we'll come back when that's done because it will take probably about 5 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Okay, the meat is cooked, so we're just going to add the other vegetables, our carrots and our celery. Now, one thing I didn't show you before that I'm going to be adding is Vegemite. So we're going to add a heaped teaspoon of Vegemite. Now, if you don't have Vegemite or you don't like Vegemite, you can use a beef stock cube. I'm also adding 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and a generous dash of Worcestershire sauce. And a cup of water. Right, we'll just cook that until those veggies have cooked down and then come back. If you're enjoying this video and you'd like to see more like it, make sure that first of all you give it a thumbs up and that you subscribe. Hit that notification bell and that way you'll always be notified when a new video is available. Just for a bit of extra flavour, I'm just going to throw in some wine. So about a cup of wine. That's just some white wine. Normally I wouldn't throw that in, but I've just got it there. So I thought I'll throw that in for a bit of extra flavour. And that's what you can do with this recipe. If you want some extra herbs in there, like you could add thyme and rosemary into that as well. There you go. We'll just cook that and come back. Okay, I'm also going to add some frozen peas to the mixture. So there's about 2 cups of frozen peas there. Okay, so in this bowl here, I've got a tablespoon of cornflour, and I've just mixed it with a little bit of water. And we're just going to add that, and that will thicken that liquid that's in there. So I just want to cook it through to make sure that that cornflour is cooked and it's thickened. And then once that happens, only takes a minute or 2 minutes, then we can just turn it off. There we go. Okay, so that's off now. Now we're waiting for our potatoes at the back here. We're waiting for them to be soft. So we'll just test those by putting a knife in, and no, that is too hard. So we just have to keep those boiling. By the looks of it, they're probably going to need about another 7 or 8 minutes. So we'll come back when they're cooked. Right, we'll just test those potatoes again. Okay, that's nice and soft and nice, going in very easily. So we'll just drain them and then we'll mash them. Okay, so here's our potatoes that we're going to mash. I've drained them. We're going to add some butter. Now I've got just a little bit of cream left, so we'll add that. And then we'll add some milk. Now the quantities on that are just whatever you fancy. I like to add a lot of butter. I like the potatoes to be very buttery. And with the liquid, I just add it a little bit, then I'll mash it. And I'll see if it needs to be any more liquid in there. So I may add a little bit more. But I just add it bit by bit, because once you've added too much, you can't go back. Yeah, it needs a little bit more liquid there. And a little bit more. There, they're looking great. Okay, now we just need to assemble our pies. So we'll bring over the dishes that we're going to put it in. I'm making these one each for my daughters and one for myself. So we've got our meat mixture here, our potatoes over here, and we'll just do the assembly. Oh, you can smell that Vegemite. It smells really nice. Just swap that over. And now we just need to put our potato on top. Now you can do all sorts of fancy things with this if you like. You can put it into a piping bag and pipe it on top. I might actually do one like that just to be a little fancy and just to show you what you can do. So I've just got a disposable piping bag with a star-shaped nozzle. And I'm just going to fill the bag. And I'm just going to pipe the mashed potato on top. I'm just trying to use up what's left in there. Again, I don't want to waste anything. And there we have it. That one looks a little bit fancy. Now with the other two, I'll just make some marks in it with the fork. Just make some fork marks in it, and that way we'll get some nice crispy brown bits when that goes in the oven. So there we have it. That's our kangaroo pie. All we need to do now is put that into a moderate oven. So that'd be 160 degrees Celsius fan forced, or 180 if it's not fan forced, or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So we'll get those in the oven until the top browns, and then they're ready to serve. And there we have it, fresh out of the oven. That's the one that we just used the fork on the top. That's the one where we piped the mashed potato. And there's the last one where we just forked it on top. So that's 3 kangaroo pies ready to eat. Now, I'm calling them kangaroo pies. They're basically a cottage pie. And all you need to do is replace that kangaroo mince with beef mince and you'll have a cottage pie, or with lamb mince and you have a shepherd's pie.